in California. It's custom made with the head of King David. Then there is a smaller harp. And an even smaller harp called a lap harp. This lap harp is put on your lap to play. Now I'm going to show you how the piano started. The first keyboard instrument around the 14th, 15th century was the, this is called the clavichord. This is the first keyboard instrument. It has a simple mechanism of the hammer coming and hitting the strings directly. Next came the harpsichord, which was just before the piano. It's around the 16th, 17th century. And this is this long instrument.
Doctor, could we, yes, we can see it now.
It's about 8 feet long and narrow. And that's called a harpsichord.
Could we ask you to go a little slow when you're showing the instrument so that we can see it clearly? Thank you so much. And doctor, these are all replicas of the originals?
Yes, these are replicas. The clavichord is made in Germany and the harpsichord is made in the US. They are replicas of the original instruments.
Okay, and the original instruments originated, as you said, in the 16th, 17th centuries?
Yes, in Europe.
Okay, thank you.
This next instrument in the US is called a hammered dulcimer, where you use a hammer and play the strings. In India, it's called a santoor. This one is an American one, called a hammered dulcimer. Next, I'm going to come to a double bass. It's the old bass guitar before the electric bass guitars came. And this is about my height, and I have two of them. This is called a double bass. Stand there. Just stand there. You could compare with his height, the man sitting next door. Nowadays, they have an electric guitar. Now, there's also an electric double bass, which is the same thing you saw, but in electric. This also is an instrument that on the stand, it's about 6 feet tall. And you can stand. This is an electric double bass. The instrument next to that is a drum. Looks like a coffee table, but it's a drum, and it's from Korea. The legs of the drums are the legs of an ox or a bull. And this instrument next to me is the first electronic keyboard instrument in the US. They started around the 1960s, and it started with the Moog synthesizer and the electronic synthesizer. This one is a cog, and there were no buttons, it's all knobs only, about the 60s. Now I'm going to show you a few wind instruments. That's blowing instruments. These two big instruments, they're about 2.5 to 3 feet long. They call the tuba. That is by marching bands. T-U-B-A, tuba. Next to that is another blowing instrument that is played in orchestras, symphony orchestras. It's called a French horn, H-O-R-N.
Doctor, there's a question which we also
Yes.
want to ask you, which is how many of these instruments do you have in your collection? And if you could also tell us along with that, how you started it, the whole collection.
Well, I have about 300 instruments, out of which about 60 or 70 are small instruments. Like, I have about 20 harmonicas. The major ones is about 200 to 225. How I started with this is, I grew up in Bangalore. I studied in St. Germain's School, and I was part of the school orchestra. And then we became a little ambitious, and we said, why don't we start a band? I was in the 9th standard, and play outside the school. So we did that. We called ourselves the Spartans, and we used to earn money, which was a great pleasure to earn money in your school days. And then it continued in college. St. John's Medical College has a band called the Missing Links. So that's where my interest started, and where my interest in the started with the guitar, harmonica, drums, and then various other instruments. The actual collection came when I studied in New York as an orthopedic surgeon, and my first guitar was a Fender, which I will show you. And from then onwards, for the last 30 years, I've been collecting musical instruments, 17 years in the US, and the rest after coming back to Bangalore, I still collect. And when I came back, my wife and I at that time, the instruments were so many in number, with 3 large pianos, 1 grand piano and 2 upright pianos, that it came in 2 containers, big containers, 40-foot containers. Customs was absolutely flabbergasted, because most people would come with 1 guitar or 1 piano. Anyway, we dealt with that. But that's how the collection started. And my interest in music has been there from that time onwards. And now I have a jazz band called the Jazz Revival since the last 20 years, 9 of us.
Oh, that's wonderful. And thank
This
you.
is the guitar that. This is my first guitar I acquired when I was in New York. It's called a Fender. I still play it. It has a very nice sound. And there is one guitar that I made myself when I was in PUC, being the youngest of 8 children. In those days, we were not able to afford electric guitars. So I made this, getting the wood from Bamboo Bazaar and using some bicycle parts. This is the guitar. the guitar in the shape of a violin, and I called it
Hold
Plessy.
it a little away from the guitar, doctor, so we can get the full view. That's a beautiful guitar.
This, I'll show you the bicycle parts. I called it the Plessy. Now coming to other instruments, I'll show you wind instruments. That is the saxophone, the flutes, clarinets, etc. Trumpet, trombones. The first one is a trumpet.
Oh, you got it. I had 2 reaches. Very sweet. Yeah, I avoid it.
The second one is, the second instrument is called a flugelhorn. This is like a trumpet, slightly larger. This one is another tuba. Then saxophones. I have about 15 saxophones. That is, they're called soprano saxophones, alto saxophones, tenor saxophones, and baritone saxophones. Then guitars you'll see in boxes. There are about 80 guitars, all different kinds, all unique guitars.
Doctor,
But
could I request you to bring the laptop a little down? Yes, we can see your face now.
yes,
And
okay,
while you're showing the instrument, if you could just move a little back, then we can see the entire instrument.
okay. Most of the guitars are in boxes, cases. I'll just give you a glimpse of them. But I'll show you some unique representative guitars. This guitar is Gibson. It's the 100th anniversary. And the body of the guitar is the map of the United States. I'll just turn it for you. Yeah. There's the United States. Like that, there are several unique guitars. The first electric guitar that I got when I was in the US is called a Fender Stratocaster. That's this one. I dreamt of having a Stratocaster, and that is it now. I have 4 of them. And this electric guitar is called a Gresh, and it has an amplifier within the guitar, which is quite unique.
So, doctor, do you play them yourself, all the guitars?
I can play the guitar, but I don't play all the guitars because after all, this is a collection.
Yes, yes. And but from these, which would be your favorite instrument from all these that you have and the ones you play?
The favorite instrument that I play is the guitar harmonica. I used to play the saxophone, and I do mostly singing in the band now, and I do play the keyboards. This guitar is quite a unique one. It has 2 drums within the guitar. And this guitar is called the dobro guitar. That is the, before electric guitars, how do you get a sound to be somewhat amplified? This is called a dobro. This, it has like a drum in the center. I have another dobro with metal in the center. Now, these three instruments are, they're called pedal steel guitars, and they're used in country music. The person sits and plays them. Another name for them is called Hawaiian guitar. Then small guitars are called ukulele. These are three ukuleles, which are very small sized guitars. This instrument is from Syria. It's called a dumbek. It's like a small drum. This is an instrument from Brazil called a Rico Rico. I'll just show you how it's played. This is called a Rico Rico. And this instrument from Thailand is, just to give the sound, it's like a big rattle of about 4 feet tall. So in summary, that's a bird's eye view of the instruments. This is the Scottish. Yeah. So for any questions, I can take it now.
Yes, we'll. Doctor, one thing we wanted to ask, what makes you select these instruments for your collection? Is it based on history, uniqueness? How do you choose?
It's mainly uniqueness of unique look and a unique sound.
Okay. So someone has asked if your jazz band plays in Bangalore on a regular basis.
Yeah, yes, we play in Bangalore Club, at KGA, RSI, we play in 5-star hotel sometimes. And we were supposed to play at Catholic Club on April 22nd before this COVID happened. And we were supposed to have a jazz show with the Bangalore School of Music on May 22nd, but that all of those went for a sixer. So, but we do play regularly. At least once a month. We practice every week in this music room.
Doctor, one more question. Before you play something for people who are joining us today, do you quickly want to tell us, because a lot of them have been writing to us saying you have so many different things that you do apart from being a full-time doctor even now, right? Your passion for music and your presidents of so many other clubs. But in the gist, how do you manage to do the 10 million things you do? How is your 24 hours like in a day?
Well, music is very important, and it's an excellent way to unwind. After a hard day's work, there's nothing more relaxing than either playing an instrument or singing my heart out. And this music room is soundproof, so can play, sing as loud as we can. And you know, the other advantage of playing an instrument on the shelf on the right side, is, you know, being a surgeon, you have to use the eye, hand, and brain coordination is very important. Playing a musical instrument is very similar. The brain, hand, and eye coordination and ear coordination is very important. So it's a complement. You know, the surgery and music is complementary. But for me, mainly, it's a way to relax and unwind. And of course, my day now I cannot play golf because of the COVID. But I heard that they're opening golf clubs from Monday onwards. I play bridge, and now I play bridge online only. Music is very important for me. Listening to music, singing, playing, golf, bridge. I do some farming. I have a farm nearby in Kanakpura Road. So, and I was the president of Bangalore Club till recently. So that has took up a lot of my time. And of course, I do my surgeries and I do administrative work at HOSMAT. We just expanded to a second hospital in Sadashivanagar. So it keeps me very busy.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you, Doctor. So, Doctor, there is one question about how do you actually ship these instruments from across the world. So, also a reminder, because you gave us that very fun anecdote when we spoke over the phone about how you took the sitar, right? Do you want to share that with everyone?
You know, I spent 17 years in the US. First 7 years was training as an orthopedic surgeon. Then I had a private practice in Oklahoma, from New York to Oklahoma. So I used to visit my parents in Bangalore. So I bought a sitar. You know, this Chikpat Balapet area has all these stores, music stores that sell Indian instruments. So I bought a sitar, and I had a wooden case made for it, and I had it shipped by unaccompanied baggage to New York, JFK. And they told me it came, and I went to collect it. And I had a hatchback guitar, which you can see right through the car. And everybody's staring at me. I was wondering why. And only when I went home, I realized that this box that was having the sitar is shaped like a coffin. It's like a baby's coffin. So, and it was kept upright in the back, in the hatchback. So people, I guess, were wondering, what is this guy carrying a child's coffin? Does he have a child inside that? So there were a lot of stares. So that is an amusing anecdote.
Thank you, Doctor. And do we have some time where you can play something for us?
Yes, I can play the guitar and play the harmonica.
Mm-hmm.
This is a song called World of Our Own, which is actually an old song about a couple isolating themselves from the world because they were in love. But it is apt during this social distancing time now. It's called World of Our Own. I'll sing it and play it on the guitar, and then I do it on the harmonica. Close the door, light the light. We're staying home tonight, far away from the bustle and the bright city light. Let them all fade away and leave us alone. Come with me to a world of our own. We'll build a world of our own that no one else can share. All our sorrows we'll leave far behind us there. And I know you will find that real peace of mind. Come with me to a world of our own. I'll do the same thing on the harmonica.
That was beautiful, Doctor. awesome.
you, doctor. That was awesome.
So thank you very much. I enjoyed showing all these instruments to all of you. Thank you and have a good evening.
Thank you, doctor. It was really our pleasure because you took your time off, your busy schedule, and also coordinating, all the follow-up that we did, trying to reach out to you, and you obliging so very open-hearted, to do this for Silver Talkies. Thank you so much. So as you know, we have not just seniors, a lot of them from across the world today joining us live, watching you. Also for everyone hearing us out, doctor has also promised to do a special talk for us. Of course, he's a well-known surgeon, so something on arthritis from the expert himself. So that will be coming soon.
Arthritis, yeah.
Yes, so that will be coming soon. Stay tuned, and thank you again, doctor. So just so that you quickly can see those who joined you today, we will ask everyone to get on their videos back, just to say a final goodbye. Can everyone switch their video on back?
Thank you, Doc. That was great.
And the doctor would love to hear from you for feedback. So you could either write to us, you can leave us a message, and we will share with him. And you could just say a few
Doctor.
words.
Excellent.
Thank you. My pleasure.
It's a fantastic treat. Great show.
Thank you. I enjoyed it.
It is amazing, you know the name of every instrument, each and every instrument. Amazing, you know.
Not only you play beautifully, you sing also very well. That was very surprising.
Every instrument was unique. Really lovely.
Excellent, doctor. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you again, doctor. He did mention that he has to play bridge at 6 p.m. sharp. So thank you for your time, doctor.
Thank you very much, doctor.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Good evening.
Bye, doc.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye. Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.